Hello everyone, welcome to the Malbeefance channel. This is turn 32 of the series replay for Strategic Command World War One. Last 2-3 episodes have been rather long. Going to try and keep this one really short. No real updates to do other than I'm expecting this should be the last turn for the Russian Empire. Their national morale is down to 4. There are no significant defenses that are seen on the Eastern Front, with the exception of a few units around Moscow, um, and then a handful of units spread out across Estonia on the approaches to St. Petersburg. So, with that, we'll go ahead and advance a turn and see what we get. Central Powers liberate Belgium for the third time. Third time's the charm. Let's see. Moscow militia mobilized. There is the alert about there are Entente units blockading supplies coming to Germany, and they're blockading between Scotland and Norway. Germany develops fighter development level 2, improves the quality of our fighters. Germany develops long-range aircraft level 1. Germany develops logistics level 3. Austria develops artillery weapons level 2. Ottomans develop airship deployment or development level 1. And there is our ledger for next turn. Last turn I meant to reduce the amount of money that Germany was giving to Austria. I forgot to do that. Doesn't hurt anything, but I could use the money elsewhere, the production points. Alright, so we have some preliminary rearranging of units. A lot of toing and froing on the Eastern Front here. And we've got Luki surrounded. So, what are we going to have happen? Alright, so now the air war is starting. So there we have the air war over the Alps. Looks like we might be seeing a push on Trento again. And now the air war over the Western Front. The continuing saga of the struggle for the Ardennes, Liege, and that one hex southeast of Verdun. So here comes the artillery. So all three of the usual hexes have been hit. And here comes the attack on Liege. Some fighting outside of Moscow. And the fighting in the desert in Chernivtsi. The Italian garrisons versus my Libyan rebels. Hey, there we go. My submarine hanging off a Scapa Flow actually caught somebody. Did a little bit of damage. It was a dice roll, but it paid off. A little shifting of forces along the Caucasus front, the Suez. What else? So the computer is saying it's reorganizing. I don't know if you heard that, but there was some aircraft movement in the background. I just didn't have any. I didn't have any pieces that could actually see it happening. So more background movement going on there. I don't know. I think that might be it. All right. Serbian Corps suffers attrition losses. Social agitation lowers Russian determination to continue the war. Damn socialists. And there it is. Russia surrenders. And now the breakup of the Russian Empire. Ottoman Empire gains territory in the Caucasus. You gotta love this name. Transcaucasian Democratic Federative Republic. Good Lord. What are they doing? Getting paid by the uh, syllable? The Ukraine declares independence. Romania gains Bessarabia. Now that helps reduce Romania's desire to join the war on the Entente side. The Crimean People's Republic declares independence from Russia. Won't be the first time. Estonia declares independence. Latvia declares independence. Lithuania declares independence. Germany controls the administration of Polish Russia. Bulgaria prepares for war. Kind of figured that would happen with Russia's surrender. I was hoping it would have occurred a couple of turns earlier, but I really wasn't pushing on Nish, which needed to be done in order to drive that quicker. All right, there's the alert about the close blockade. Computers calculating supplies for the CP. There is the activity summary. The rest of the summary. And some intelligence reports. Fighters near Dijon. Pre-dreadnought in Naples. Infantry Corps near Ypres, or Wipes, or Yeeps. Either pronunciation is correct. Okay, now that is the leader, the headquarters, French headquarters. Not French as in French people, but a guy whose last name is French. Now that the Russians are out of the war, it's important that we do not lose our strong position. I have to keep at least 4 German units within 8 hexes of Warsaw. If I want to get the most economic benefit and morale benefit, I got to have 12 German units within that radius. So there's the reconstituted Second Corps. All right, so first things first. All these guys. Now I gotta have, for the maximum benefit, I need 12 German units within 8 hexes of Warsaw. So all of the regiments that I had on the Eastern Front, I will go ahead and move them down around Warsaw. So there's 6. Okay, do we have any down here? Yep, there's 1. So that's 7. That one is Austrian. Okay, so I don't have any more regiment-sized units. So 1, 2, 3 cavalry units, German cavalry units. They're of limited utility on the Eastern Front, so I can have them stay here for the time being until I'm able to get more regiment-sized infantry units. So that brings us up to 10. I need 2 more. There's the other cavalry unit, and for my 12th unit I'll use the Marines. And then as I get these infantry corps over to the Western Front, I'll have some of them go down here to the Alps, and I'll be able to take the regiment-sized infantry units from the Alps and move them over here to free up the cavalry units and the Marine Corps unit. So now with that done, let's go ahead and reinforce any of the German units that need it. If I go ahead and operate them over to the Western Front, I'm only going to be delayed while I reinforce them anyway, so I might as well do it now. It's 6 of one, half dozen of another. Okay, so before operating him, let's go ahead and make a spot for him. So obviously the focus is going to be Verdun, with secondary focuses on Nancy and Epinal. So what I'm going to do is I'll move him so that he can shoot at Belfort. And then the artillery can assist with taking this hex here, which will help out with both isolating Nancy and isolating Belfort. Alright, so he doesn't need any work, so I can just transfer him straight over, but let's get him out of the way first. So I can put him straight in there. Whoops, wrong button. I meant to give him his elite reinforcements. So now this is von Bülow. He is only rated for 5 units, so I will move him down here to help out with the Alps. There's not a lot of units down there, and there won't be a whole lot more added. But now Hindenburg, let's get him over to the Western Front, and he can help out with the German Army Air Corps, or whatever their proper title is. Alright, update the bombers before I send them. I've got all of these guys to reinforce. And it is overall expensive to update all of these guys, or excuse me, reinforce all these guys. Alright, von Mackenstein. And finally the Prince. Who is actually not a bad leader. I mean, he's got a rating of 7. That is not bad at all. You just wouldn't expect it out of nobility. They're usually like, oh, by happenstance of birth, I happen to be a noble. That means I'm automatically great at everything. All right. Okay, so that gets all of my remaining high seas fleet units out into the North Sea. So I can send them on another hunting operation if I'd like. I probably will. But now, so with Russia out of the game, I don't need as many submarines to interdict Norwegian supply ships. So it is time to start working our way down to the Irish coast. Actually, I'm probably not going to need 3 whole units up here, or 3 whole submarines. Two should do it. And thanks for that. So I'm not going to be able to leave him there. He'll get attacked by at least a seaplane tender, or maybe a destroyer or two. So I mean, he's still got plenty of supplies. Let's just go ahead and pull him back a little bit. Whoops. Yeah, remember them naval mines I was talking about last episode? Alright, well, that makes up my mind for that. We'll have to send him home for repairs. Alright, so the Western Front now becomes our main focus, I guess. Actually, the Serbian Front. I'm going to push on that next. Try and make that my primary. Knock Serbia out of the war while I'm transferring the German units. Alright, so he was able to hold on pretty good. But I don't want to take the chance and I also ran the Germans out of money. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Alright, so I am going to lose the Ardennes next turn because of that mistake that I just made. Alright, nothing I can do about it. Oh, wait a second. Upgrade him, and that way I can swap out that German unit, or that one, and then they can head over there early. Alright, swap all of these guys out so I can upgrade them. Alright. Keep reinforcing the airplanes. Alright, so let's go ahead. Which one's this? Rating of 5. Well, both of my Austrian commanders in Russia weren't exactly the greatest. I mean, they weren't bad, but they weren't great either. So here's the other guy. He's got a rating of 4. So with both of them here on the Alps, that should help out with the supply issue. Let's go ahead and do advances in Serbia first before I start bringing all these troops. I'm not even going to bring them over. I'm actually going to upgrade them and then reinforce them. Alright, so he can make it to Bitola. And that puts a little bit more restriction on supplies. All right, so where are the roads there? Okay, so yeah, so let's move him up. That way he's in position to get maximum movement on this road. Oh, we can upgrade the airship. All right, back to the front. 2-1, 2-2. He's got 4 shells. His entrenchment is 4. If I take this town, he's out of supply. His supply is limited. So yeah, let's run with that for now. And we managed to get a point. All right. Awesome. Okay. So now he is out of supply, so I ought to be able to pick him up easy. There we go, 0 to 8. All right. So that means, how can I extend this line? I'd like to not extend it too much. Let me have a look at the map first. Because I'm going to use him to help update these guys, so now best to just go ahead and stay where it's at. Now he didn't attack. Let me get him onto a road. Can I upgrade him? Yeah, I can. Alright, so let's do that while I can. Swap him out. Because, I mean, he doesn't even have level 1 weapons, so take care of that. And entrench. I could advance him. Yeah. I mean, I know I wanted to upgrade him, okay, but I'm probably going to be able to take this hex pretty easy next turn, and then I'll be able to do it. I want to keep pressure on. Now that Bulgaria is in the war, they're not going to have a lot of troops, and those troops need to be upgraded. So let me go ahead and push as much as I can. And I will. I'll go ahead and advance him. So I want to swap. I want to get the artillery over here so that he can help with the push on to Pristina. And the headquarters closer to help supply with this group down here. So reinforce him in case any Greek units decide to push down these roads. So now with Bulgaria in the war, I'm basically able to cut this entire. Hang on, I'm able to cut this entire front into 3 parts. Okay, I'll be able to push across from Pristina towards Nich, and then I'll be able to push down here with a few forces on Salonika. I probably won't be able to take Salonika very quickly, but I will be able to cut off all supplies coming into Serbia by simply getting up against these roads. Okay, so that takes care of the Serbian front. Now let's go ahead and update or upgrade as many Austrian units as I can. I have a feeling that the Austrians are the first nation in the game to get level 2 weapons. So I'm going to go ahead and splurge, get them upgraded as quickly as I can so that they can take advantage of the situation for as long as it exists. It might not be long, but I may get one or two opportunities out of it, and that's better than nothing. Because, I mean, you're looking at 2 turns worth of delay here, as first I got to upgrade, and then I'll need to reinforce. So now I won't do that with the regiments. I'll try and get them down to the front so that they can go ahead and they can swap out with the larger units, and I'll be able to upgrade those units maybe a little bit quicker. I can upgrade. No, I can't. Why? Because we're out of money. That's why. Alright, so that takes care of the Austrian units. Now, the fleet is ready. So let's go ahead and make all of them raiders. That way I don't have to worry about specific units and specific hexes. Alright, is that everybody? Yep, that's everybody. Alright, so let's start with the destroyer all the way in the back. Now again, this is a move to deliberately try and pull out some heavier elements of the Entente's Mediterranean forces. Now I'm not putting, well, obviously I didn't put him on one of the lines of the convoy line because he would have gotten no. I want the destroyer to be noticed. I don't want the pre-dreadnoughts to get noticed if I can avoid it. That way they come as a surprise, hopefully, to whoever responds to my incursion. And then I will save the battle cruiser in reserve. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now we move on to the Turkish forces. These guys deserve a medal for what I'm putting them through. Alright, 2 to 3, 3 to 2. But I don't have a lot of backup. We're also in a dust storm, sandstorm, so let me go ahead and reinforce. Unfortunately, it surrenders the initiative. They're going to be able to dig in. But I have the artillery unit now. So hopefully next turn we will not have the sandstorm, and we'll go ahead and we'll continue with attrition operations here in the Suez. So now I got a lot of troops. He needs to be upgraded. But I can rail lift him down there. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to rail lift any of my headquarters units that are over here in the Caucasus. So force march those units that I can. Now I'm going to take this headquarters unit. He's only got a 3 rating. That's pretty bad. But it's more than enough for what I want to do with him. I'm going to take him and transfer him over here so that he can help coordinate for these two units, and I'll send a third one over to Max to help Max him out. And then those guys that are there on the peninsula, um, they will help with securing Salonika. And so these guys will also head over to Byzantium here, and I'll use them as garrisons now that I'm going to have the infantry corps on the front line. All right, so that looks like all I'm going to be able to do for operational movement. Once again, I hung my neck out on the Western Front. I meant to shift this guy with this one here so that I have a full 10 strength unit that also has good morale and readiness. But I gooned that up, and so now I'm sure the computer will take advantage of that. And it's going to be the devil to pay, because I'm not in a position where I can really take it back with any kind of ease. So everybody's spent down except for the Turks, the Ottomans. I can only spend 45 points in research. So let's go ahead and start with the long-range aircraft. And that leaves them with 55 points. There's really not anything I can buy. So we'll go ahead and we'll bank it. And that will take care of our turn. And so, okay, so big thing with Russia surrendering. Does that mean that victory is in the bag? No, it doesn't. I'm sure any of you that have been following along, you've seen what's going on over here on the Western Front. It is still possible for the UK and Britain to make strides. I'm going to get the German army over here as quickly as I can to go ahead and stiffen up the lines. I'm going to make conquering Serbia the focus now. And at the same time, I've been thinking about it. The questions come up in the comment section about amphibious invasion onto the boot, and yes, it's going to happen. In an earlier episode, I talked about the possibilities, the three different possibilities: invasion here in the south, invasion in the central boot, and then either going across the boot or pushing north. And to be honest with you, I think I've got enough forces here, even while we are prosecuting Serbia. I believe I've got enough forces to where I can do at least two of those options together. So my intention is to go ahead and take the southern route so that I can get the two ports, Brindisi and Taranto, so that I've got supplies coming through. And then I'll do a smaller one at Ancona, assuming that it is not heavily defended, so that way I can threaten Rome and basically give the computer a conniption as it tries to figure out how to defend Rome. Who knows? I might get lucky, and I might be able to carry Naples before the computer has a chance to respond. So, and then I'll get a cavalry unit down here to Corfu. Well, I know we'll have to take the island, but once we do, I'll have a cavalry unit down here. Their mission will be to come across to the Straits of Messina, and their job will be to go ahead and secure Sicily. I don't expect there to be a lot of defenders here in Sicily. And now saying that, I've probably jinxed myself. We'll see. All right, so thanks again for watching. If you've made it this far, please leave a like, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. And thanks a lot, all you folks that are taking the time to make comments. Give me some history lessons and some language lessons. I do appreciate it. Um, and then also the strategic ideas or tactical ideas. I also appreciate those. So keep it up, and I will see you on the next one.